If you've ever worn a battle belt or operator's belt or war belt or whatever you want to call it, you know they're a really good way to carry your tactical gear safely and securely. But let's face it, if you need to make some adjustments, they're usually a pain in the neck. Well, in today's video, we're going to take a look at the world's first micro-adjustable battle belt from the folks at Core Essentials. I think you're really going to like this, and that's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for trustworthy information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. And if you've been joining me for a while and seen the channel for a while, you may recall that the first time we took a look at the Core Essentials belt was about 6 years ago. We took a look at the Core Essentials track line, and we looked at a few since then. But since that time, Core Essentials has become one of only 2 belts that I exclusively wear, so no others. And they keep improving and keep evolving. And so a few months back this year, they came out with this Core Essentials micro-adjustable battle belt. They were kind enough to send me one so I could show it to you and to sponsor this video. So what makes this so cool is this battle belt features the what really attracted me to Core Essentials to begin with. It's got their ratchet system. So it's micro-adjustable. It can adjust up to 20 different adjustments in quarter-inch increments. You hear that little click? That's the adjustment going on. So you can make it tighter, you can make it looser. So if you're on the range, you want it really tight so nothing's wobbling around, you're running and gunning, then you can tighten it up where it's really secure. If you sit down for a break, or you get in your car, or maybe you just had a big meal, you need to loosen it up a little bit after lunch, you can do that as well very, very easily without disconnecting a bunch of stuff or taking anything loose. That's what's so key about this is you don't have to take anything off to adjust it. No popping off Velcro and moving this and doing that. It's all right here in this cool little lever. And there's a couple of special things happening behind the scene to make that happen that I'm going to show you in just a minute. But first, just kind of a quick overview of this thing. First of all, I'm holding my hands together. See them right here? Just want to show you how stiff this thing is. Now, I've got a Glock 19. I've got 2 full mags and an AR-15 mag and a flashlight and tourniquet on here. And it's, by golly, solid. This thing supports up to 20 pounds. It's available in a range of colors and patterns and buckles. You get some different buckles, too. And sizes. It's designed to fit a waist size from 24 inches to 48 inches. It comes full length, and you cut it to fit, and it's got some really good instructions. It's got everything you need to cut it, except for you need a pair of scissors. I used a pair of trauma shears, to be honest with you. That works great. And I'll show you all that in just a minute. Just kind of want to tell you that. The price on this thing is $139.99, but you can save 10% by using the coupon code SOP10 when you check out at Core Essentials on all their gear, not just the battle belt, but they got some other really good belts. They've got this gun belt here that I've been wearing. I've had this one for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, and it's just great. So anyway, that's the kind of the overview of it. Let me take you down to the old picnic table here. I'll show you a couple things behind the scene that I think are really cool about this belt, and then I'll show you exactly how to cut it to size and make it fit, because again, it's 2 parts. It is both the outer belt and it's this really cool Velcro inner belt, and that's what makes it so adjustable. Is there's a little special thingy here, and I'll show you that. So without me rambling, let's get down to the old table and do that. Okay, when you get your Core Essentials battle belt, this is what's going to be in the box. Get some instructions. There's a nice little QR code over here with a video explaining all about it, telling you how to cut your belt. But don't worry, I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Also has a belt hanger here that this is pretty neat. Your belts will just, you can hang this up in your closet like so. Your belts just clip right on like that, and you can hang up to 3 belts on here, and they just come right off. Pretty nice there. Then you're going to have the buckle. Got a little belt keeper here, this Velcro. We're going to show you all this stuff in detail. It's got a measuring tape that allows you to measure properly and cut your belt properly. A little metal clip for the end of your inner belt. A set of screws and the tool you're going to need just to tighten this belt buckle up. It's a 2mm Allen wrench. It's got the Velcro inner belt and the Molly Velcro outer belt. Let's take a closer look at the construction of these things. Okay, first let's take a look at the inner belt. The inner belt features nylon webbing on the part that's going to be against your pants on the inside of the belt, and then the loop portion of Velcro is going to be on the exterior of the belt. So this is 1.5 inch width, so it goes through in any belt loops that I can think of. And then what's really neat about this, what makes this thing super adjustable, is this cool little webbing here. This little hexagon cut webbing is very strong, very flexible, but it's also allows you to, that's what's going to give you the adjustment, because it gives you just that much space in there, 4 inches of adjustment. So we'll show you how that works in just a minute. Let's take a look at the outer belt. This is the part that goes outside your pants, your belt loops, and Velcros onto the inner belt. It is 1 3/4 inches, and it features the 3 layers. The outer layer is nylon webbing, and it's got the molle on it here, as you can see. Then it has an inner power core. This is the strong S steel power core. It's reinforced, and then it has the they call this a super fiber inner liner, which is kind of a little bit right inside there. Maybe you can kind of see that. It's kind of gray in this picture, I think. And it is a tear and water resistant lining. And then it has the hook portion of the Velcro on the inside of that. And that's what's going to stick to the belt. I just want to show you, here's a piece that I actually cut off when I was adjusting another belt. And you can see the nylon on the outside. You can see that little white line there. That's the reinforced power core center. And so it gives it its strength. And then it's got the super fiber lining there. You can see it's kind of a little thicker layer that is both water and stretch tear resistant. And it just gives it more rigidity. This is a really solid piece of material. And here is what I consider the heart of the Core Essentials battle belt and all the Core Essentials belts. And that is this little track right here with notches in it. It gives you 20 1/4-inch increments of adjustment. The way that works is the buckle just goes on, and it's like a ratchet. It clicks in, and then it won't pull loose. But it's got a very simple little lever. Just lift the lever, and you can adjust it back out. So if you need to tighten it up, you push it in. If you need to loosen it up, just let it slide out to where you want it. Or take it all the way off. Pretty stinking cool. All right, so as I said, all the Core Essentials belts are designed to fit waists from 24 inches up to 48 inches, and they come basically full-size length, and you cut them to fit yourself. So they've got some instructions here in this little instruction book. It's really simple. There's also, as I said, there's a QR code here. You can scan that. It tells you how to size them. It's got a little video about them. But we're going to see how doofus-proof this thing is. We're just going to go by the instructions that are here. So what you're going to need is you're going to need the supplied tape measure that comes with this, and you're going to need a pair of good heavy-duty shears. I've had really good success with just a pair of trauma shears. They work really well. So I'm going to show you how to line it up, and then we'll cut it. So you're going to cut this belt to whatever pant size you normally wear, but you need to use the tape they provide. They specifically say do not use your own tape, your own measuring tape. Use what they provide. Lay it out. It has a I know this is going to be upside. Oh, well, it doesn't have to be. Let's just turn it around. So you're going to lay it out on the measuring tape. They've got a little illustration here to match the track here. So line that up with the track like so, right? Line up the little track pictures, line up with the track. And then you want to just go out to whatever size pants you normally wear. So I wear a 34. I'm going to cut it at the 34-inch mark on this tape. This is not a little crappy, cheap piece of paper tape either, to be honest with you. I'm pretty happy about that. It's a really well-made little tape measure. So, and again, it's not actually a real tape measure. It's actually more a guide for cutting. So don't go measuring stuff with this. So we got it lined up here again one more time. Make sure that's right. Pull it out here. And 34 inches is here. So I'm going to put my finger there and look at it. You want to make sure that you're not, if you cut it in the middle here, okay, where my finger is, we're going to have a bunch of flopping, flopping molle here. So I'm going to go a 1/2 inch larger, not smaller, but just a 1/2 inch larger, right past that seam right there, that little stitching on the molle. I'm going to cut it right there, because that way we don't have a bunch of flopping. You don't want, if you cut it in the middle, you're going to have a bunch of flopping. Nobody wants a bunch of flopping, right? So we'll cut it right past that. And these, man, it's pretty stiff stuff, but these trauma shears get it done. It's just gonna take it. You gotta cut it now. It ain't playing. You can use a sharp knife, but I've had better success with trauma shears. It's easier for me to cut it straighter because it's pretty stinking stiff stuff. You hear the strain in my voice? Man, okay. Got it cut, and I'm gonna clean that cut up a little bit because it was pretty tough. Pretty tough to cut. That's cleaned up a little bit. And actually what I'm going to do, because I'm a Boy Scout, I'm going to take my lighter and just going to seize in just a little bit, okay, just to clean up those little dinglies. So there we go. There's that. So That part is done. Let's double check my measurement to make sure it's right, because I'm pretty sure it is. This ain't my first rodeo, but so we got that lined up there, right? And we just pull it back out again. I probably should have double checked it before I cut, but it's okay. So we're right past, we're almost at 35. So you can see that. So there we go. There's the outer belt. Then it says, be sure to cut from the opposite end of the track. Yeah, if you cut the track off, you're screwed. So, and by the way, once you've cut this, you can't return it. So they've got a 30-day return policy on uncut belts. So once you cut it, you own it. So make sure you know what you're doing here. You're very, very careful. So, all right, the next step is to cut the inner Velcro belt to size, and a little bit of gray area here in these instructions. So I'm going to let's see. There's some instructions actually on here. Lay the inner belt over cut battle belt. Subtract an inch. Okay. So that makes it simple. Just take an inch away. You don't have to even use this measurement, really. So that's what it says on here. We'll try that. So let's see. So this hex part here is basically going to be lined up with this track here. It's going to fold back over on itself. So let's just see what happens if we line it up this way and cut it an inch shorter. Which makes sense, right? And then we'll see how it works. Because we can always cut more if it's too long. But if we make it too short, we ain't cutting no more. So we're going to make this about an inch shorter, so we'll cut it about right there. How about that? That seems to make sense to me. And let's just do that. I'm dropping everything here. You won't have to be doing this on video, so it'll probably be a little smoother for you. And again, I got it a little crooked, so I'm going to straighten it up. And again, going to try to singe that up a little bit there and make it pretty. Okay, so the next step is to put the buckle on. Okay, so here's the buckle, and just to show you real quickly what we're doing. It's just got 4 little teeth in there, and this is a toggle. So when you push the belt in here, in this slot, clamp down, those teeth will bite into the belt. And then these 2 screws here, you're going to loosen those up right now, or otherwise the belt won't go in. And then when everything is right and it's 100% ready to go, then we'll tighten those screws back down. And they give you the 2mm Allen wrench to do that with. So first, just we're going to loosen these screws up enough so that they're not impeding the belt going in there. And these are real small screws, so they give you a couple of replacements. Actually, I had 3 replacements in the bag, just in case. So we loosen that up like so. Open this up. Now this is the outside of the belt, obviously, so I'm going to take the belt, slide it in like so, and it goes all the way. You see it goes all the way to the back there. And then we'll just clamp this down like so. And then we can go ahead and, you can go ahead and kind of tighten these a little bit so they don't fall out, but I'm not going to tighten them all the way down until I make sure I don't have to cut any more off this. I got it sized right. So put that out of the way for a minute, and you'll see, by the way, there it goes. That's how it works. And then this little lever here, pop that lever up, it comes right back out. Pretty cool. So let's look at the inner belt now. Okay, so to put the inner belt on, you want to start from the end that doesn't have this little mesh and just feed it through your belt loops like a normal belt. When you get to the end here, what you want is this little webbing here to be over the center of your zipper fly area where your buckle is going to be, and then you want to Velcro that like so. And if that's where you want it, then that's fine. Now, if you need it to be tighter and you wind up with, you see that? You wind up with some of the Velcro behind here, You don't want that. You want to cut that part off. So whatever tightness you want this to be to keep your pants supported, then just put it where it needs to be, and then Velcro it, and then look at it and see. Like I've got about a little over an inch of excess behind there, and that's going to be in the way, because the way this thing works is you got to be able to compress it like that if you're tightening or loosening. That's what that movement there is what gives you the adjustability. So I'm going to cut a little bit of it off and see how that works right now. It was about that much overhang. I'm not going to cut all that off because I might have a big mill, want to keep it a little looser, so I'm going to just cut off about 2/3 of that distance, and then get the old singer out again. And so this is the kind of process you may have to go through when you first get started. So that gives me, I put this at the very end, that gives me a pretty good supported belt. And if I want to make it tighter, I can. Okay, finally, once you have the inner belt sized properly the way you want it, then they give you this little metal clip here to go on the end. And even if you singe it, it's still possibly to get frayed or whatever. So just put that on there, squeeze it shut, and they say to tap it on the table, but this table's so rickety, we're just going to use a pair of pliers to kind of hold it shut. And just squeeze that side and that side, and that just gives a little extra support there, so it doesn't tend to come unfrayed. In my opinion, that's really optional, but why not use it if you got it, right? So the next step is to put the outer belt on. You want to put the end of this buckle right at the end of the webbing here, so you can have maximum adjustability, and then just start kind of aligning it as you go, pressing it against the Velcro as you go around, like so. So I'm going to keep going around, try to keep it in alignment there, and just press it against the Velcro, and all the way back around here. Now, you feed that through, and see how it works. Now, I can tell you, for me right now, I've got this thing's bottomed out, and it's still kind of loose. It's not as tight as I would like it if I'm trying to carry a bunch of weight, because it's going to drag down. So I need to shorten this up a little bit. Man, it had a pretty good bit of overhang. And again, here's the seam, so I'm going to cut it an inch of it off, and if I have to cut these little molly strips off, I will. Let's see how that works. Okay, so after a couple of trial and errors, I think I've got it right. So I had to cut this thing like 3 times to get it adjusted the way I kind of want it, because that's pretty tight there. So when I get it loaded down, it's going to be supportive, and still have plenty of adjustment. I've got, that much adjustment. It's just important to take the time up front to go ahead and make sure you got it right. Cut it a little small increments. I'd rather cut it 3 times and get it right than cut it 1 time and make it too short, right? So the last step before we load this thing up is, you notice that you got this tail here kind of sticking out, and that's just a little annoying. So they provide you with, pretty cool, a little Velcro back keeper that you can put right on here, like so. Let's see where it needs to be. I'm gonna say it needs to be about right here. It's got Velcro on back, so it'll stick right here where you want it. It won't flop around. And just put it right there like that. And then keeps everything nice and neat right there. So there you go. Okay, so once you've got the outer belt adjusted how you want it and make sure it's right, go ahead and finish tightening up the 2 little bolts here, screws here, and you just tighten them till the head is flush. You don't need to over tighten them because they're small. Anytime you try to over tighten these small screws, they're subject to break something, but just go ahead and tighten them down till the head kind of bottoms out, and you're good. Okay, well, so once you've got everything sized up properly, make sure it's adjusted right, everything's tightened up, then just go ahead and load your gear up. The Molly loops do make things pretty handy if you got Molly gear. Otherwise, you can just use it like a regular belt with loops. And even like, for example, this flashlight holder here from Night Eyes doesn't have Molly on it, but when you press the Velcro on both sides, it keeps it from moving around. So there you go. And again, this is just an example. It's not a how to load a battle belt video, but just an example of some gear that I happen to have around. Shows you how well it works. And again, this thing is rated to hold up to 20 pounds of gear. I can tell you that this feels extremely comfortable to me. There's absolutely nothing feels loose or floppy or anything like that. So, okay, well, that was a hopefully reasonably coherent look at the Core Essentials Battle Belt. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this thing. because like all the other Core Essentials belts, this little ratchet track here is absolutely the bomb. I've tried some other battle belts before, and everyone I've tried, at least, if you want to adjust the size, you got to undo Velcro and move flaps and pull this around and do these different things to it. It's nothing like the simplicity and ease of this. And I just think the folks at Trackline have done an excellent job of designing this. I really like the way they made that inner belt have that adjustment in it. It's just that's a game changer in my opinion as far as comfort and adjustability for a battle belt. So, and again, you don't have to get a Coyote when they've got different patterns and buckles and stuff like that. But if you want to check it out for yourself, there'll be a link in the video description below. Don't forget, if you use the coupon code SOP10, you can save 10% on your order at Core Essentials. And once again, thanks to the folks at Core Essentials for sending me this so I could show it to you and for sponsoring this video. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.